I think you should definitely join a Facebook group, NYC Fisherman group, and then you go fishing with them, fishing with them. It's a whole thing, and like you take photos, maybe you do a vlog, fishing. And you also need to learn about fishes because you need to buy a book about fishes and fishing and being a fisherman, and you will learn. And then you go fishing with them.
And where we are and what we're doing to start.
Of course. So my name is Seth, and we are fishing in Central Park. And we are currently on the north side of the park at a little pond called the Pool. And fishing is allowed in Central Park. The designated spots are 59th Street, the pond, 72nd Street, the lake, the Pool on 104th, and then the Mere, Harlem Mere on 110th Street.
Great. So, I don't know, maybe you remember this, maybe you don't, but do you know the first fish you ever caught? And you remember what that was and what that felt like?
Absolutely. I would go fishing with my dad when I was a kid. I probably started around 8 years old. And with most kids, you start with like sunfish or panfish, and it would have been a bluegill. And to this day, I still catch bluegill, and it's still a lot of fun.
So is there an emotional connection to fishing then, since it started out with something with your dad?
I think it's definitely part family related and part just being in nature and being outside. So
do you like fishing alone more, or do you like going out with other people?
It's a great question. A little of both. It's always fun to fish with a friend or a group of people because then it's a shared experience. But if you ever want to relax and just like kind of be away from the hustle and bustle of the city, being by yourself in the park for an hour or two is fantastic. It's a great way to meditate.
So do you find, because you have this practice of fishing and it's something that's always there for you, does that give you like the opportunity to always have something to do? Like if you have free time, if you have an afternoon free, are you like, that's time to go fishing?
100%. And I think if people who fish, it's always on your mind. So if I'm not at home or in New York City and I'm fishing, I will try to find a body of water. And I was like, hey, could I fish there? Can I find a fishing pole set up? And even recently, I've been putting a collapsible fishing pole in my suitcase, my carry-on bag, and I just try and go fishing it wherever I end up.
That's so beautiful. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Wow. Welcome to Nicky's News. That was my fishing trip. So I learned how to fish, and I caught something, and I returned it. Once I returned my stick into the water, that sort of was a returning of myself back to nothing. So, today we have Tony-nominated actress Pascale Armand. Come in, Pascale.
You're hilarious. Hi, Nicky.
Hi, Pascale. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you being a part of Nicky's News.
Nicky's News. I love it. Yes, love Nicky's News.
Let's get into it. Could you describe yourself as an artist in, 12 words?
Oh, good God. I am a Haitian American actor expanding my artistry into writing and directing. That might be 13. Sorry.
Baker's dozen. When you opened Eclipse at the public, I think you met Lema Bowie, the Liberian Nobel Peace Prize winner.
Yes, she was one of the instrumental parts of the story being told. Maybe you should get her.
What does it feel like to be in the audience where you're having someone watching you perform something that they know so deeply?
Well, first of all, you're not thinking about that as an actor. You're trying to like stay in the story. So that all gets shed once the lights go down and it's time for you to hit you're not thinking about that because you have a job to do. You have a story to tell. And at that point, the story is everything. I love it when I'm in, doing a thing, and then you hear a gasp, you hear somebody sniffing, you hear somebody, it's, I know that I'm doing my job. So, yeah.
So you're detached from it when you're acting. You're not thinking about who's watching.
It's not a detachment. Okay. I mean, but I have to let go of that in order to tell my story. Like there's a trajectory and there's an arc of a story that my character is trying to tell, and I'm not. I know and I'm aware that they're there, but at one point I have to let that go and be immersed in the story that the actors and the other actors, my scene partners are trying to tell. So it's now. It's why we rehearse to make sure that everything is going to turn out well. Like it is practiced, the story that we're telling. But once we've got that down, it's like, okay, let it run. Like, do what you need to do. Be engaged so that they can get the story.
You've worked with stories written by Dominique Marceau.
Yes.
Lynn Nottage.
Yes.
Denai Guerra. You also have worked on your own shows, things that you've written, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference as an artist being an asset in someone else's work and then being the star of your own vehicle?
Oh my gosh. Well, it was a little scarier. I mean, because I'm responsible for all of these words. I'm a vehicle and a vessel for helping somebody tell their story. When I'm the one who has to fill the blank page and I'm not just reading lines off or getting to understand who this character is, that's crazy. No, it's scarier, but then the responsibility is heavier because you can't blame anybody for what is that's you. For however clothed you are with whatever costumes you have, you're naked on stage.
Pursuing another line of inquiry here. Acting, being an artist, is a freelance life. That leaves us with a lot of free time that we don't want to be free.
Right. Especially when
yeah.
we're not making any money.
What do you do when you have those moments where you don't know what comes next?
Try to stay busy. Write. Stay active in the work. Take a lesson. Take a class to be better. We all went through this during the quarantine and the pandemic. That was a year and a half. We all emerged from it, artists. We all emerged from it, multi-hyphenates.
Everyone had that feeling that artists have all the time. It kind of leveled the playing field.
It sure did. I felt that, again, we emerged being able to do so much more that only adds to the landscape of our artistry.
Yeah.
So it's great.
So, speaking of doing so much more, as I understand it, you are working on something new. And if you'd like, I'd like to give you a little time to talk about a new project you're working on.
Thank you, Nikki. Yes. So I am working on a short film. I wrote it, and hopefully I'll be directing it this summer. No, hopefully I will be directing it this summer. The working title of it is Roles Reversed. Being a child in an immigrant household, I remember that there were things that I had to, when my grandparents would get mail and they weren't able to read it, I was the one who was reading it, translating it, making sure that they were able to understand whatever it is the documents were saying. That was when I was young. I still sort of kind of see the same thing happening, especially in the horrible videos that we're seeing on social media. I mean, sometimes there are children in the background who are speaking. At least I've seen one that has hit my heart a while ago, because it's been going on that long, where a child was speaking to their parent in Spanish as ICE was taking them away. And I was like, so the translation still continues because that child has access to language. Kids can pick up languages like this because they do, and they can probably speak better than their parent. Then the weight of having to make sure that adults understand what they have to deal with, which is usually written that they can't understand, puts a lot of onus on the child. That's called parentification, when a child assumes adult responsibilities for whatever reasons, but in an immigrant household, that happens because of the language barrier in the United States. And so what does that do to a child? And Roles Reversed is about that.
Now, I'm looking at my notes here, and there's one thing in my notes that is a little more stressful.
Okay. Okay.
So we were talking about the stress.
I'm not afraid to do that when it was on the paper.
Okay. Yeah, I can be. So this stress we were talking about, like wanting to be busy and always having to find new ways to be busy, is a sort of a thing that stresses me out. Especially the question that people will ask you, like, "What are you working on now?" When you're at a party, when you're mingling with someone, they find out, "Oh, you're a creative person, so what are you working on right now?" If you don't have something like lined up, often that pressure is really crushing. What I'm looking for is help to answer the question, "What are you working on right now?" I'm not necessarily looking for actually doing anything, but I'm looking for a way that people will think that I'm really busy. Somebody had me invent a new color. We're calling it bleen. I also had to go fishing. Learn
In
how to
this
fish.
weather?
It was snowing, but I just need to do something because people love people that are busy. People love it when you've got stuff going on.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
I think it's better if there's some pressure on you. So I'm going to time
Like a
you.
deadline?
Yeah, you're going to have 2 minutes. That's your deadline. Give a monologue to the camera where you come up with something that I can be doing that you think would be useful for my time.
Okay. What are your interests? Like, what do you...
Oh, I'm interested in anything.
Anything. Okay.
I'm interested in fishing. So it's just going to be you alone.
Okay.
And I think let's start now.
Okay. But, okay.
Okay, good luck.
Okay. So, one of the things that I know about Nicky is that he loves tea. When we were taking class together, he was talking about like all different types of teas, some of which I kind of liked, and he was just so knowledgeable about it. And so these days, I'm on a kick. These days, so trying to be as healthy as possible, but in today's world, that we don't really know where to go as far as that is concerned. It's, our fruit's got wax on it, you know what I mean? So I would like Nicky to work on a tea that is medicinal, that tastes good, and something that he would actually sell, but then something that would be, that he would have to market. But it's gotta be able to knock out the flu, but it also has to taste good. It generally maintains good health, but that it tastes good.
This has been Nicky's News. Thank you for watching. Stay busy.